Yeah, bro. It's working. Okay, the time is approximately 6 p.m. November 11th, 2021 Farragut Board Mayor and Alderman meeting will now come to order. All the Farragut Board Mayor and Alderman meetings are public notice per Tennessee state law. Our meetings can be seen live on Charter Channel 193 and TDS Channel 3, as well as our Farragut YouTube channel and our website. It will also be recorded and can be viewed at a later date on the Town of Farragut YouTube channel, as well as Charter Channel 193 and TDS Channel 3. During the regular posted agenda, all comments or questions from Farragut residents will now be in person. If you're interested in speaking, we ask that you please fill out a blue card with your name and address and agenda number and turn it into the town recorder prior to the start of the meeting. The mayor or the vice mayor shall maintain and control the meeting to provide a professional and objective environment, so please read the posted comment protocol and understand that there will be a 5-minute limit for each speaker. At the end of tonight's business meeting, there will be some time reserved for public comment under the Citizens Forum agenda, in which the same rules apply as the regular posted agenda item. Okay, we will start tonight with a silent prayer, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our country's flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll now ask Town Recorder to please take attendance roll call for a quorum.
Burnett.
Here.
Alderman Meyer.
Here.
Alderman Pinchuk.
Here.
Alderman Pavlin. Here. Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams here. We do have a quorum. Okay, do we have any agenda amendments tonight?
No, sir.
None? Okay, I'll ask for a motion, please, to approve. Okay, all in favor of approval, please say yes.
Yes.
Let the record show the November 11th, 2021 agenda has been approved. Okay, approval of minutes, any changes?
No, sir.
None? I'll ask for a motion, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of approval, say yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I
let-
recuse myself. I was, can't
Yes.
recuse myself, whatever it is.
Abstain.
I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Abstain. Thank
Wait.
you.
Let the record show that October 28th, 2021 minutes have been approved and will be recorded as official minutes of the reading with 2 abstains. Okay. Mayor's report. Boy, have I got a good one tonight.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I have a list, okay? Well, first off, I want to thank you to our staff for Freaky Friday. It was very much a success. And what I think I will do is start off with the list for the week. And this will be for information purposes mainly, but for everyone that's watching, the Mcphee Road servicing is done, completed without incident. I think it was budgeted for 7 days, and I think it was finished in 3. Phase 1 of Virtue Road is scheduled to open Monday at 9 o'clock. They should be paving tomorrow, weather dependent, I guess. And for some, I guess, that's seen the Blue Cross Healthy Place right behind Town Hall. It's a huge success. The kids are loving it. And the other new item will be the 50-foot lighted tree at Mayor Ralph Mcgill Plaza. I think that will be happening as far as being turned on Thursday.
For light, it'll be countdown to light the park. It'll be the same night on Monday, November
Monday?
22nd.
Okay. So
Monday, November what?
22nd.
22nd, okay. Okay. And last but not least, saying goodbye to a our special event program coordinator, Brittany Spencer, who has accepted a job with a higher level of responsibility with the city of Gatlinburg. We congratulate her and are very sad to see her go. So that's things to note since our last meeting, and that will happen before December 9th, which will be our next one. It will be Light the Park. And as David said, that will be November 22nd. Our Parks and Rec department has scheduled vendors and carolers and food trucks at Founders Park every night through December 23rd. Okay, and there will be a schedule available if you go on the website. Restrooms are open until 10 p.m. at Founders Park and at the Plaza, except on December 25th, and the lights will stay on through January 2nd. Celebrate the Season moves to the community center this year from 4:30 to 7 p.m. Kids can get photos taken with Santa, enjoy cookie decorating and face painting, and a holiday movie is also part of the fun. And that is what day, Sue?
I think it's the 4th.
December 2nd.
Second.
December 2nd. Okay, great. Okay, and also on December 6th, the presentation that starts at 7 o'clock will be the Annual Day of Infamy presentation by Frank Galbraith, and that's on a Monday night. Okay, that concludes my report, and I'll turn it over to the Vice Mayor.
I have a lot to say, too. All right, the first thing I have on my list is a Town of Farragut proclamation of the 2021 Small Business Saturday. Whereas the government of the Town of Farragut, Tennessee celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community, and whereas according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 31.7 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees, and they are responsible for 65.1% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. And whereas small businesses employ 47.1% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, 88% of United States consumers feel a personal commitment to support small businesses in the wake of the pandemic, and 92% of small business owners have pivoted the way they do business to stay open during the pandemic. And whereas 97% of Small Business Saturday shoppers recognize the impact they can make by shopping small, 85% of them also encourage friends and family to do so as well. And whereas 56% of shoppers reported they shopped online with a small business on Small Business Saturday in 2020, and more than 50% of consumers who reported shopping small endorsed a local business on social media or shopped at a local business because of a social media recommendation. And whereas Farragut, Tennessee supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities, and whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday, I therefore, Vice Mayor Louise Pavlin, do hereby proclaim November 27th, 2021 as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. So, as you know, I love small businesses, so I really appreciate you guys supporting our small businesses in the town of Farragut. I did want to make a note that today is Veterans Day. It is a day that we honor all of our brave men and women who have fought and served our country, so that we have the honor and privilege of conducting our local government the way we do. I also wanted to give a shout out. Mayor Williams already mentioned it, the 50-foot Christmas tree in Ralph Mcgill Plaza. This was put together by our Public Works guys. They strung it all. They put the lights on. They got all of the greenery fluffed. I came up on that intersection today and saw this beautiful tree, and I got emotional. We live in an amazing community. We have so many opportunities for community to gather, to do wonderful things. We are so blessed to live in this community. We have great staff. They work so hard to keep our community beautiful, so I was so thrilled to see that. And my last thing I need to do is
In the line of business, introduce Christine Dean. She's in for Julie this month to give us our chamber monthly update. So Christine, go ahead and take the podium and your name and address, please.
Okay. Short person, sorry. Christine Dean, I'm representing the chamber, and it's located at 11826 Kingston Pike, Suite 110, Farragut. Julie is out of town, so I am the vice chair of the board of the Farragut Chamber of Commerce, and so I am filling in on her behalf. Julie sent to Allison a document that you all should have. She wanted you to know that the copies that you have, anything that's in blue is actually taking place in Farragut. So if you'll notice, there's way more blue than there is not. And so I want you all to be aware that we have been spending a lot of time here in Farragut. There are some events coming up between now and the end of the year that we all would love to see you guys at if you're available to any of them. So there's a few things that Julie wanted you to be aware of. There's some things in October. So in engagement with the community as well as businesses, we have welcomed the Tennessee Artists Association back to the membership and launched a new gallery of local art within the office. Pieces are for sale and will change out quarterly. If you have not been down to the chamber office, the hallways down there have interesting and diverse. They're all very, very nice, different forms of artwork hanging on the walls by different artists. One of the things that we have done as a board is we have been invited and are participating in the legislative agenda alongside the Knox, Blount, Anderson, and Oak Ridge chambers. We will see and review the last and hopefully final draft at our meeting on November 30th. David is scheduled to be there, so he will hear all of the things that we have chimed in on. The agenda's purpose is to identify issues of importance within the region and up to the state level and increase job and business growth in our region. These include broad supportive statements about economic development, education and workforce development, healthcare, infrastructure and transportation, and entrepreneurship and small business.
What is that report called? I'm sorry.
It is, I believe it's the Chamber of Commerce Legislative Agenda.
Okay.
I can make sure that I get that answer of what it's formally called.
I'll know what that is. Legislative agenda is all I need to know.
Okay. It is a 30-year-old process, and this is the first year we've been invited to chime in on what we feel is important. So as a board, we were gratified to be invited up to the big table, but also to be part of that process and to represent Farragut and West Knox in consideration up to the state level. So let's see. Julie wanted to thank Mayor Williams for participating in the donor presentations for the beneficiaries of the 2021 auction. The American Cancer Society and Volunteer Ministry Center both were grateful, and as a chamber, we were proud to be able to raise over $3,200 each, as well as to have 3 area mayors acknowledge their efforts by being part of the presentation. So Mayor Williams was there, as well as the Knox County and the Lenoir City mayors. And so that presentation was, that was a community-wide event at that auction. And so to be able to present that money that was raised at the auction to those charities was incredibly, especially at this junction after the pandemic, was extremely gratifying for the board. I continue to hear a lot of positive feedback from the program that we supported, that Trevor conducted here on how to launch and develop a business in Farragut. The Realtor panel was especially well done, and we are looking forward to supporting his efforts on the next event. Lastly, a big thank you to Parks and Recs for all their hard work to put on Freaky Friday Trail amid all the weather challenges. We had a phenomenal response. We had over 25 businesses that put together goodie bags that were distributed, and so that was 2,500 bags of treats and coupons and all sorts of stuff going out to everybody that came. Coming up between now and the end of the year, our last regular networking for 2021 is at Home Trust Bank in Farragut. Also on the 7th of December, there is our holiday open house. We would love to see anybody from the town to come out for that. Our charity sponsorship for that event is we have children at Child Help. We have the ability for sponsorship of family groups, but also just to bring unwrapped toys for Child Help to put in the toy closet. The toy closet is something that they hand out a gift to the children that come in for their forensic interviews. It's something that helps them to focus on something other than what they're going through. So we have lists available if anybody's interested in helping with that. Julie invites the town to adopt a family if possible. Otherwise, anybody that wants to come can bring an unwrapped toy that day. That event has changed. It's always been an evening event in the past. This year, it's going to be split across 2 different sections of the day, so more people can hopefully attend. There's a morning brunch session, and then there's also an evening after-hours session. Let's see. Programs, networkings, and ribbon cuttings. In case you're not aware, we are continuing to do those in person, and they are quite popular. Julie and Suzanne are having to weigh those and schedule those as carefully as they can, not to be overwhelmed. We are scheduled all the way through June of 2022, and there is a waiting list working at the moment. So I will gladly answer any questions I can. Most of them will probably have to defer to when Julie gets back into town.
Thank you, Christine. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Any other aldermen have anything to report?
I have nothing. Nothing.
Okay. Okay, tonight we have 2 items, 2 ordinance items, and both will be on the first reading. We'll start off with ordinance 21-17. It's an ordinance to amend the Farragut Municipal Code, Appendix A, zoning, Chapter 3, Section 1, Agriculture District, to provide for a second dwelling unit on a lot of record and update other provisions. Carrie Archer, applicant.
Good evening. I'm Mark Shipley. I'll present this item this evening. Just a little overview. When this was brought through the Planning Commission, I mentioned that we had met with the applicant and they had come to the staff to basically see if there was a way to provide for a second dwelling unit on a lot that's at least 5 acres in the agricultural zoning district. So from that initial request, we kind of looked at the agricultural district. Frankly, the agricultural district is mostly concentrated in the southwest part of the town, and as the town has developed into more of a residential community, a lot of our previously agricultural zone properties have been rezoned to residential districts to allow them to be developed. So it's really a district that doesn't really receive a lot of attention. So therefore, when I started looking at the language in our existing district, I found some things that we probably needed, that from the staff's perspective, need to probably be updated. And one of those things is that there's currently quite a few things that could be presented as special exceptions through the Board of Zoning Appeals. One of those is up to 3 dwelling units on a lot. The issue with that is that the fire code, our connectivity requirements have changed in the subdivision regulations, and there's really just been a lot of things that have changed since that initial language was placed in the district. Probably hasn't been amended since for decades, probably. And then there were some other things in that section that raised some concerns from the staff. So in a way to try to deal with the request from the applicant and address kind of cleaning up the district itself, what we proposed to the Planning Commission was basically just allow a second dwelling unit on an existing lot, by right, not through a special exception process. But there would be certain criteria that would need to be demonstrated. And so I'll briefly go through those. First of all, it has to be at least 5 acres. That's the minimum lot size in agricultural zoning. That there needs to be no more than one existing dwelling unit on the lot. The lot has to front directly on a public street for at least 100 feet. Both the existing and the second dwelling unit would need to meet the setback requirements in the agricultural district. The two dwelling units would need to be at least 50 feet apart. And the reason for that is if the properties were ever rezoned and re-subdivided, there would be enough space between the dwelling units to likely meet any required side setback requirements. So that's the reason for that. And then that there would not be an additional access created as a result of the second dwelling unit. Because a lot of these properties are on non-local streets, and we try to minimize the number of curb cuts on those streets. So, and then the final thing is that basically that the second dwelling unit would need to meet all the utility code and fire suppression requirements that the town has adopted. So, so with that, that's one component of Ordinance 21-17. The other was to get rid of the uses approved through special exception. I've never really liked that anyway. I think that it gets a little too subjective. It's better to evaluate uses, and if you think they need to be in your community, develop specific criteria through a text amendment to provide for those. So that's one thing that we're recommending, to get rid of that section, and also clean up some other permitted uses like all-premise advertising, outdoor advertising. That's listed as a permitted use. That's billboards. We don't allow new billboards in the town. We never have. And really that's addressed in our sign ordinance, so it's really unnecessary to have it in this district. Same way with mobile homes. That's too vague. There's a differentiation in state law between a single wide versus a double wide that has the appearance of a site-built home. That's basically a single-family detached structure. So we're acknowledging the difference in state law for that as well. So those are really the main changes that are reflected in Ordinance 21-17. We did present this to the Planning Commission for a vote last month. They unanimously recommended approval. They did ask that the staff take out some original language that said that the lot that could possibly receive a second dwelling unit had to be an existing lot of record. So we just basically said it just has to be a lot of record, at least 5 acres. So with that change, the staff recommends approval of Ordinance 21-17 on first reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, do we have any questions from residents? None, okay. Discussion, and we'll start off with Alderman Meyer,
Pass.
Alderman Penchop,
Pass.
Alderman Burnett. Vice Mayor Pavlin.
Pass.
I have no discussion questions either. We've covered this extensively. I'll now ask the town recorder for a roll call vote. Oh,
Let's just go ahead and have her, let her know we're here.
So I'm Carrie Archer, I'm the applicant, and I live at 400 Saddle Ridge Drive currently, but the address for this proposal is 13,000 Allen Kirby Road.
Do you have any, you're fine with what we've
I think
approved
so.
through the MPC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Now, let's see here. Town recorder, would you please do a roll call vote?
Alderman Burnett. Yes. Alderman Meyer.
Yes.
Alderman Pinchuk.
Yes.
Alderman Pavlin. Yes. Mayor Williams.
Mayor Williams, yes. Let the record show Ordinance 21-17 has been approved on the first reading. Okay, next will be Ordinance 21-21, ordinance to amend the capital investment program budget and add the ARPA fund budget for the fiscal year 2021-2022. budget passed by ordinance 21-13.
Yes, sir. The capital investment program will be amended by increasing the expenditures $300,000, and this is for the Campbell Station Road approach at Interstate 40 and 75. This project will be funded through the CIP fund balance, and the additional $300,000 expenditure is for engineering and construction of improvements at the Campbell Station Road approach at Interstate 40 and 75. And you can see more information in the item D of your packet. And the American Rescue Plan Act, or the ARPA fund, we'll need to create that, and we'll have revenues and expenditures that will equal $3.5 million. So the motion is to approve ordinance 2121 on first reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any resident questions?
No, sir.
None, okay. Discussion, we'll start off with Vice Mayor Pavlin.
I don't necessarily have any questions. I'd seen a drawing of the, a proposal for the Campbell Station Road approach to 4075, and I just wanted to give Brandon, thank you for working on that. As you all, everybody knows, that's been a struggle for us lately, and a lot of people are unfamiliar with when you're in the right-hand lane, you're getting on the highway to go east, and so they sit there waiting to try to get into the left-hand lane, and everybody in the right-hand lane knows where they're going, and they're a little annoyed. And then it all backs up, and so this will be an opportunity to find a little bit of relief until we can have a more permanent project for proposal for that area. So thank you for your efforts.
Okay, thank you, Vice Mayor. Next, Alderman Pinchot.
I pass. I have no further questions.
Okay, Alderman Burnett.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would bring up is looking at the essential worker appropriations. I guess me personally, and I also think as the board, but I can just speak for myself, you know, we have put a lot on our staff over the past couple of years. I think COVID put a lot on our staff. We also have some very ambitious hopes and desires for our community that we've put in place, and that is through our parks, that's through our community center, that's through our greenway connections. You know, we look at our Bud staff, they've constantly been understaffed and have been given more and more area to manage. So across the board, I think we have been lean, and they have been through a lot. And so as I look at the essential worker pay, I would love to give more than what we are currently allocating. And I know we are looking at $2,000 for full-time, $1,000 for part-time, I believe. I'd like to see that at least go to $3,000 or $3,500 for full-time, and then $2,000 or $2,500 for part-time as a part of the ARPA funding.
Okay, thank you, Alderman Burnett. Alderman Meyer.
Pass.
Well, Vice Mayor.
I don't have an issue with considering that, because I agree we've put a lot on our staff, and it has been incredibly stressful, and they're still dealing with a lot of stress because we're having such a hard time with employment. I don't know what those numbers look like with what we're trying to achieve. Can we come back and do this, fund this here, and then come back and address it with additional funding in another like 6 months, when we have another understanding of what will be covered?
Through the ARPA fund?
Yes.
You can do it whenever the board feels appropriate to do it. We had just come up with a program to kind of look at the months that people work,
Yeah.
and come up with a plan of action on that. But if you'd like to amend that or give additional appropriations in the future, you can certainly do that. There's a certain category, there's a certain limit that the board is allocated to be able to do.
Okay.
That's up to $13 more per hour per employee, that the hours that they worked, and up to $25,000 per employee, maximum for the whole next 3 years, basically.
So Alderman Burnett, would you be comfortable with leaving it at this with the caveat that we address this again in 6 months when we have a better
Yeah,
understanding?
Absolutely, and that's what I was just, that's
Yeah.
why I was whispering to Dave. I was like, hey, is now the time to talk about this?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I don't
think
want to
that's
miss it.
Well, I think it's good for us to put a marker in that we want to address this again in 6 months when we have a better understanding of where all our funds are, whatever opportunities for these non-competitive grants that we might be eligible for, and once we have some kind of understanding, yes, I think that's a good idea to readdress this at that time.
I guess my point is that I agree with everything you said, but not sure where the money would come from to fund this, from where else it would come. But we may know shortly or in the near future which one of these projects aren't going to be funded.
Yes.
So it'll
And
be
that- yeah,
easier.
so
So
let's-
make it easier.
Let's figure out how the dust settles.
Yeah, I
and then
agree.
go from there.
Okay, my point on that is, of course, I agree, but I think it would be probably wise, and I think everybody would probably appreciate it if we put it in 2 different tax years, for obvious reasons, for the employee.
If we can figure out that makes a substantial difference, I think that would be a good idea, yes. And obviously, that means different tax brackets may see that differently, so.
Well, we don't know everyone's tax brackets for the employees, but certainly we can run numbers on anything the board want us to run as we get to that
I didn't
point.
even really think about, I think about their own individual, but I didn't think about the fact that they have spouses that actually make money too. See, I don't get paid, so. Bitter about that.
Okay. If nothing else, and with the previous workshop, along with sufficient opportunity for discussion from all, I'll ask the town recorder to take a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Alderman Pinchuk?
Yes.
Alderman Pavlin?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Mayor Williams, yes. Let the record show ordinance 2121 has been approved on the first reading. Okay, we have another busy night with 5 business items tonight, and we'll start off with approval of the Veterans Salute 5 and 10K road race.
Yes, sir. This, it's looking, I can't even think what I'm trying to say. This race is going to be on Saturday, November 13th, and the main highlights are there's going to be temporary road closures on Jamestown Boulevard, on Campbell Station Road from Old Colony to Jamestown, and various streets through Village Green subdivision. And all of their application is in order, and the motion is to approve the event application involving the town's public right-of-way for the Salute to Veterans races on November 13th.
Okay,
That's what this map is? Yes.
Amended map today.
okay.
There'll not be any closures on Kingston Pike.
Oh, that's good. Okay, discussion, let's see, we got a motion?
Yeah, I just motioned.
Okay. Do we have any resident questions?
No, sir.
No, okay. Alderman Pinchuk, you got any questions?
Do we have a representative here?
Yes.
William, talk first.
How are you doing? I'm Shaheen Hadian, representing the races.
Can you tell us a little bit about the race and the changes you've made and so forth?
Absolutely. So this is our second year doing in person. 2020, we took a break. This was our celebration for the Veterans Day with working with Town of Farragut. The changes I've made to it is basically taking out Kingston Pike and running through the neighborhood so that we have less police support needed, less closure.
Good.
And anything we do is only partial lane closures for the duration. The races benefit basically our veterans outfit here in Farragut in their support of the Wreath Across America, as well as the Shepherd of Hope Food Pantry, which is a mission of the Lutheran Faith Lutheran Church over right there next to the community center.
And I thought I read somewhere in here that you're expecting, what, 200 to 300?
It's going to be more along 150 to 200 if we're lucky.
Okay.
So It's going to be a...
What have you had in the past? I was just curious.
Last time we did it, we had about 240 or 50 people. We started late. I own Fleet Feet Knoxville, so business has been taking most of my time. So we started the planning way later than we wanted to. So
Okay, I have no further questions.
Burnett?
I'll pass.
Pass. Alderman Meyer?
Pass.
Vice Mayor Poblin?
Just the residents in the neighborhood have been alerted that this is going on,
we
correct?
notified the HOA over at Village Green.
Okay,
But very little. It's most of it, like we have only about 50 people in the 5K, so the race is going to go real fast.
fast. They may, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Understood.
like our Hot to Trot, which is going to be about 1,500 to
Yeah.
2,000
Yeah.
people, so.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, I have nothing. With proper discussion, I asked all in favor vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let the record show the Veterans Salute 5-10K road race has been approved. Thank you.
Who's the next one?
Oh, yeah, same guy. Approval of Hot to Trot 5-10K fun run, November 25th, 2021.
Yes, sir. This event is very similar to the years past. There'll be short-term lane closures along Parkside Drive. The motion is to approve the Hot to Trot 5K and 10K and Fun Run road closures on Parkside Drive on November 25th from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Approve.
Okay. Any questions from residents? None, okay. Alderman Burnett?
No questions.
No questions. Alderman Meyer?
Pass.
Pass. Alderman Pinchot?
Pass.
Vice Mayor Poblin?
I don't have any questions. I just want to thank you for bringing this event to Farragut. This is, how many years have we run this now?
I think 2009 was the first year we did it, so it's been going on for many, many
It
years.
is so much fun. And when I could run, when I used to run, I ran in this race. And I'll tell you, no one realizes that Parkside Drive is a slight grade going uphill until you're running it. And you're like, does this hill ever end?
So just for your information, the course limit for 5K is an hour and a half, so we have a lot of folks that actually walk it,
Yes.
including the turkey, who's me, by the way.
But it really is a fun event. It gathers so many people. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate that you've brought this event to Farragut and you keep it going. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I don't have anything on this. Again, proper discussion. Unless all in favor vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Let the record show the Hot to Trot 5-10K fun run has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, approval of a proposal from Ross Fowler, PC, for design and construction services for Mcphee Park, Phase 4, permeable paving, paver parking, and stormwater improvements.
Good evening. Yes, this is an agreement with Ross Fowler for design and construction services for Mcphee Park Phase 4. David described this project a little while ago in the workshop. It is a permeable paver parking lot. Allison, do you have that slide for the? Prior to ARP funding, we had in mind that we would be constructing parking in phases as we added elements to the park just over the next few years. But with the ARP funding, permeable paver parking is eligible for ARP funding. So we might as well go ahead and build all of that in this one phase. So before you tonight is an agreement with Ross Fowler. They've been our designers on Mcphee Park for some time now. Very pleased with their work, and they have a total fee of $153,950. That includes a supplemental services of surveying. So that's based on 9.25% of an estimated $1.5 million construction cost. We do have a couple of people from Ross Fowler here tonight. If you have any questions for them, staff recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Okay. I guess I'll ask Alderman, do we have questions that we need with Ross Fowler.
I just have a real quick question. Is this, and Darrell, you can answer it. It looks wide enough that you have parking on both sides?
That's correct.
Okay. And this was, it's, from what you're saying, this was a phased, when we were, I'm just curious, this was always going to be the finished amount of parking when the whole park was finally finished? We were going to have
I
this
believe
much?
that's correct.
Yes,
Okay.
this was all part of the original master plan
Okay,
approach.
Okay.
The one thing that's a little different from the master plan that some of you have seen previously is that there was a dog park adjacent to the tennis courts.
Yeah.
And so we understand from the town that they would like to put that dog park in another portion of the park. So that will free up more of the road frontage along the park road for permeable paver parking.
and I'm a big fan of permeable they're just, it makes for a very beautiful parking lot's going to be beautiful. That's how you make it beautiful with your permeable pavers. So I appreciate this, but thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, don't run off. Let's see. Alderman Meyer,
Pass.
Alderman Burnett,
No questions.
Alderman Pinchot.
One question, you said because the dog park's been moved, we'll have more parking than the original master plan. Is that correct? Did I
Yes,
get
in
that
the diagram that you see there, it actually will, and the parking will encompass the area that was shown in the master plan to be dog park.
So instead, we're getting 160 spaces, and the original plan called for less, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that number is a rough number that we'll be able to give you a more definite number as we get into detailed design.
Got it.
Okay.
We need as many as we can, so.
I know,
Okay.
I know. Yes, we understand that, and we'll work to provide those.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Nothing else, and I ask all in favor to vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Let the record show that proposal has been approved as requested. Okay, next will be approval of professional services agreement with Cannon for engineering services for Campbell Station Road improvements at the approach to Interstate 4075.
Good evening, Board. I'm Brandon Tupper, the Assistant Town Engineer, and I'll be presenting the approval for professional services agreement with Cannon for engineering services for the Campbell Station Road improvements at approach to Interstate 4075. It is one of the town's critical success factors to building and maintaining our town's infrastructure and assets. And one of the strategic priority initiatives has been to reconstruct the I-40 Campbell Station Road interchange. We all know a project of that magnitude is going to take many years to develop, which the town staff is working on development of that, but that is still many years off. So in the interim, we've been evaluating what opportunities there would be to provide some relief and some mitigation to any traffic that we're seeing up there. The concept that's presented tonight is one of those. If you look at the diagram of the existing condition, currently at the eastbound on-ramp, there's only one lane that passes for the northbound movement that would encompass both the through movement and the to-be left turn lane to the westbound once you get through the bridge. What the change essentially will be is to, as Allison pulled up here, is to carry a second lane for the through or for the northbound movement, dividing it before the eastbound interchange, providing two lanes that can go through the eastbound interchange signal, one dedicated for the left turn that will divide once it gets under the bridge there, and one for the through movement. We've kicking it around a little bit, and we've selected Cannon Incorporated. We've worked with many projects before for traffic engineering related studies like this. I asked them to take an initial look at it, model it with their synchro, look at the projected traffic from Topgolf and different things like that, and see what it does, and actually modeled really, really well. It brought level of service up to level of service B. at that intersection. I'll caution that, we still obviously have to get into it and understand if that can actually be achieved or not, but it models really well. We believe it'd be a very good improvement for the traffic flow at this interchange. So with that said, we recommend approval of the professional services with Cannon & Cannon for the design services to further this project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Do we have any residents, nothing signed up for this either? Okay. We'll start off with on discussion with Vice Mayor Pavling.
Brandon, it says here plans are due by January 30th, 2022. There's time, I don't know how long it takes to get them that ready to, prepared for letting, and then there's a certain amount of time for all the bids to come in. When do we suspect construction could be reasonably envisioned to be finished?
It would be in 2022, the calendar year 2022. There wouldn't be any required additional right-of-way for this project.
Okay.
And it's a relatively small construction project that's really just adding a little bit of width to the roadway. It will probably have to be done at night, so it'll take a few weeks to actually develop it. But without having to acquire any right-of-way, I believe that we could definitely move to construction next year.
Yes, but what is next year? Are we looking May? Do we think it'll be done by July? I know you guys are slammed. I know you're slammed.
Yeah,
So-
if everything we find with the survey keeps it in the scope that we're thinking it will be, we'd like to put it out to bid probably spring and for summer construction. Agree?
Summer then?
Yes.
I like the word summer. I'm sure you like the word summer too. That gives us a little bit of padding.
Engineering summer extends to about December.
Well, right now it is, isn't it? So yes, thank you. I just needed some kind of idea. I appreciate it.
Okay, Alderman Pinchot.
I'm just excited to see this being worked on, so thank you so much. I have no further questions, though.
Alderman Burnett.
Yeah, just curious, Brandon, did you look one step further at looking at taking the wings out and kind of expanding? I know that's one of the next bigger steps as opposed to the much larger interchange.
We went through a couple iterations on this concept with Cannon & Cannon, just kind of brainstorming what would be best. One thing we can't, if we start infringing on the actual interchange itself, it gets into a FHWA interchange modification study and really expands the scope of review and through TDOT and the Federal Highway Administration. So we need to keep our scope within kind of the footprint of the existing town, Campbell Station Road. So I think we've maximized what we can do without getting into that bigger project, TDOT-related scope.
Just in your estimation, what kind of time frame you think this buys us till we're back to a DE?
Alan, I know you kind of evaluated.
Oh, come on.
I'm Alan Childers from Cannon & Cannon, and I will, first of all, let me say, I'm excited about this. I love making improvements. These guys came up with this idea. I would have liked to have, but I didn't. They did. And bang for the buck, you got it here on this little project, as much as I've ever seen on a project. So what was the question? I'm sorry.
How much time does this buy us until we potentially get back to
Okay.
a service level D or E?
I looked at the 2025 traffic projections, which were done by another consultant for the Top Golf project. I think we'll still be, at 2025, we'll still be better off than we are today. Now, beyond that, a couple of years, we're probably equalizing out. So, I mean, it buys you at least 5 years.
Okay.
I don't know when the TDOT project will occur, the big project.
Which buys us a little more time to push for this funding to get something done here, which is a relief. But, yeah, we still need to stay on top of the ultimate goal, which is to get that done.
And this is, like I say, about low investment for a big improvement, I think.
Yeah.
The biggest help is on the the south side, the eastbound ramps, the traffic that often backs up all the way to Grigsby Chapel, that's going to be tremendously improved. Now, if the interstate gets stopped and traffic's backing up from the interstate, that'll still happen. This will primarily help that south side ramp intersection, the north side ramp intersection. It will help, it will help just a little bit. It will have some improvement there, although it's mainly addressing that northbound congestion problem.
We already proved that, we improved that with that second lane that extends from Snyder to.
That makes some improvement there,
yeah.
right.
So that was done a few years ago, another really great bang for our buck.
Yeah. Very true.
We're doing everything we can.
Okay, Alderman Meyer.
I'm very excited because I drive this road 2 or 3 times a day. My daughter does to Catholic high school, and it's mind-numbing. So the only question I have is it possible, if you look at the road and the southern part that's below the, I guess, the intersection, is there a way to have signage somehow that indicates the left lane is for I-40 westbound, I guess it would be?
Yes.
Okay, so like whether it's on the ground, like they have it at King's.
Well, we actually talked about
just
some
like something
an
hanging out.
overhead
Okay.
sign structure.
Yeah, something like
Some
that.
overhead
Okay.
signs to get them in the right
people,
lane.
I would be very frustrated if I was in the left-hand lane, got through the intersection, realized I'm trying to go to Catholic high school and I'm stuck turning left, and that would be a mess. So previous signage would be helpful. So thank you.
Right.
Okay.
If we have to do that, is that a mast pole and all of that, or what does that look like? To have a overhead signage?
Well, we talked about it could be done inexpensively with wooden utility poles and a span wire. Now, it's not going to look as good, but that whole area is kind of older.
Couldn't you just paint it on the street? Like, can't you just like paint I-40 west on the road?
So if we don't like that idea of the utility pole and the wire, because I'm not a big fan of that, we need to start making plans for that. Because it
You have
sounded
any
like it
old
took a
mast
long time to
arms?
get that mast pole in when we did Watt Road.
Can you do a temporary hang across with the signs
I
and then
would-
take that down?
I wouldn't want to do it temporary. You think about how many people come to the town of Farragut that aren't necessary, they're going to Parkside Drive. If we're going to do something, it better look nice.
Well,
Going
can't you,
for a
like,
mid-block crossing? Or?
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's the next thing. Let's
talk
do a
about that.
mid-block
That's for
crosswalk
capital
over
and
there.
stuff. So yeah, I mean, can't like, I know in the intersection by Sevierville when you go to Dollywood, there's stuff painted on the road. Like I'm driving and it says I-40 west on the road. Can you not just do that?
You could do that also. And a mast arm pole, like the one out on Watt Road where the signals are hanging on, $15,000 to $20,000 for that.
We need to have a conversation about that as a
The
board.
signage back here. I mean, I don't think people want to get in the left-hand lane and realize I'm stuck having to get the left-hand lane and go on I-40 west. I think there needs to be
Yes.
signage down.
I don't
So
disagree with you.
I would
It's-
just say to put a sticky or something on the street or something that says I-40 west and move on. But that's just me. I have no other comments. Thank you.
Okay. So what we do, we'll black the road and then restripe?
Well, we talked about milling the surface and then putting new
Oh,
pavement,
okay.
a new surface down. That's in
Okay.
the budget. It'll look a lot nicer. The markings will look a lot nicer and stand out a lot better
Okay.
by doing that. So,
Okay. Well, proper discussion. Ask all in favor, please vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let the record show the vote has been approved for the agreement, professional services with Cannon. Okay, next will be approval of contract with Madden Media for targeted marketing and advertising and website maintenance and a next step expansion of marketing for Visit Farragut.
I didn't know if they had to make a motion first. All right. Good evening. I'm Karen Tyndall. I think you guys know me. I'm your tourism coordinator here. And I'm here tonight to present information and answer any questions you may have on a proposal provided in your packet to approve a contract with Madden Media for targeted advertising and marketing and website maintenance as the next steps in expanding the marketing of Farragut. As you know, we've worked with Madden Media to develop a new tourism website which went live in August 2021. This website has provided an improved internal and external user experience and has positioned our website to become the primary marketing platform for the Visit Farragut program. Website analytics from August 1 through October 31st show a 22.3% increase in users, a 21% increase in sessions on the website, a 12.8 decrease in bounce rate, and that the average time on site is 1 minute 23 seconds, which represents a 36.8% increase over the previous 3 months, which was our old website. So we're already seeing a lot of traffic on our website, and people are on our website and they're taking their time looking at our content. So looking further into those analytics, you can see what people are looking for. So 22.2% of the current site visitors are looking for general event information, what's going on in town, what can they plan for. 12% are looking for specific events. We saw spikes for our Freaky Friday, and we're seeing interest in, of course, our holiday lights, which we've talked about tonight. And just over 3% are looking for dining options in town. So they're in town and they're hungry. That's a good thing for us. Mad Media has proven to be an excellent partner for the town to develop our tourism brand. As a tourism-focused full-service agency, they're positioned to assist our staff in the next steps. These steps include continued site hosting and maintenance, enhancement of the site with additional robust content, and leveraging that content into a targeted marketing and advertising campaign using the analytics to define our top potential markets. The scope of work includes hosting and maintenance through the end of the fiscal year, the next step in website expansion focusing on our restaurant and entertainment options. This would include adding information on things such as happy hours, live music, breakfast and brunch options. This would drive website visitors directly into our local businesses. This additional content also leads to improved SEO scoring. Search engine marketing is one of the most important marketing channels to generate web traffic. It complements your SEO and gets your destination to the top of the Google search results. On average, businesses that invest in search engine marketing make $2 revenue for every dollar spent. This type of paid marketing targets key audiences and brings new visitors to the website, increasing Farragut's brand awareness. Finally, amplified storytelling utilizes immersive content on an interactive landing page. This type of storytelling marketing has been shown to increase travel intent by 50%, making this an effective tool to inspire and educate potential visitors. It helps the consumer create an emotional connection with the destination. Funding for this is already available in the tourism budget under the professional services and printing and advertising line items. We have already invested in the development of our tourism website. This proposal positions the website to become our most effective marketing tool by combining marketing with technology. This will increase both the website content and functionality, as well as drive new visitor traffic to the site and increase brand awareness. This also supports the initiative in the strategic plan to enhance the town of Farragut's financial position by increasing the sales tax base through tourism development. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any questions from the residents?
Yes, sir.
None again. Okay, we'll start off with Alderman Meyer.
Only question I have is, Karen, do the hotels have our website like on a brochure or something, so when folks check in and they want to find something to eat or whatever, they can go to
Yes,
that website?
so
Okay.
we provide the hotels with a quarterly guide that has
Okay.
all of our information plus all our website
Okay,
information.
perfect. Thank you.
And we have our dining guide as well, don't we?
We also have our dining guide, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Are we seeing our, I'm sorry.
go ahead. You're next.
Are we seeing our hotels, well, I know we're moving into the holiday season, but are they starting to recover? Business travel?
So our reports, our hotel reports, we have not purchased the level that identifies the type of visitor, but our occupancy, our overall occupancy is right at the 2019 levels. So we are seeing a nice recovery. I do know there's still a struggle like every business in staffing issues, but they have seen a nice recovery, and let's say go Vols this weekend, right?
Yes,
Another
yes,
sellout weekend of the hotels, so
Yeah.
that'll be nice. But yes, we are seeing, and I do have that data. We'll be talking about it at the TVAC meeting.
Okay. Also, is that broken down, like, bi-weekly, the occupancy, or is it monthly?
So the current reports that we have purchased is monthly occupancy, but
Okay.
we can look at, as we grow our tourism program, we may look at more, purchasing more detailed reports.
Okay.
There is other information that's available through sources that we could purchase.
Okay, because obviously, someone who's a business traveler is looking for a few, like this, food and entertainment for that evening, as opposed to what may be somebody who's here for entertainment on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I know that our business travel is our bread and butter, and I know if that's coming back, I know our hotels are starting to breathe a sigh of relief when the business travel is coming back, because that's kind of what that's their basics.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
agree.
That's all I had.
Okay. Alderman Burnett,
No questions.
Alderman Pinchot.
Yeah, I do have one question. In here you say, you've stated on average businesses that invest into the search engine marketing make $2 revenue for every dollar spent. I've heard some higher numbers from previous meetings we've attended, seminars. What's the average today? I mean, it says here based on the search engine marketing, but what can we expect, or what are we shooting for as far as a return on our investments?
So the 2 to 1 is based on purchasing Google ads, and that is really where with the level of content we have on our website right now, that's where we need to start. As our website grows and is this working?
Oh, yeah.
No, you're good.
I feel very sorry. But as our website grows and we have additional content, we'll look at additional avenues to market. One real easy thing to think about is right now, if you opened up your phone and searched something, the very first thing that's going to pop up is going to be from Google. And so you want to have a high search engine optimization score and a high SEM score. Those go together to, pull up that Farragut business that you're looking for. So, businesses, that is why they advertise with Google. Most people, when they go to a place they're unfamiliar with, Google best places to eat, best parks in the area.
Yeah.
And so that's where we are positioned to start with right now.
And I realize we're just starting. I know it's early in this process, but I guess, I don't know if you've asked Visit Knoxville, for example, what their return on investment with the advertising might be. Do you have any idea what their numbers might be?
I have not. I did participate in the Visit Knoxville marketing call this week, and Kim Bumpus did a very nice presentation on their first quarter, and then their marketing director, Angie Wilson, really just kept reiterating the point that all of their marketing goes through their website. Everything goes through their website. So it really is, their number one marketing platform. And now that we have a website that can grow with us and grow with our destination and the exciting things that are happening here, I think we can really leverage the website to be our number one marketing platform.
Well, kudos to you. I really appreciate all the work you've done, and I'm excited to see the two for one, but I'd like to see it even get higher, so.
I would too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I've spoken with all but one of the hotels, and they're all very pleased with the what you brought to the table. And so you may not have heard that from them, but I was able to hear that by just talking with them. So anyway, that's all I have. All in favor, vote by saying yes.
Yes.
Let the record show contract has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Sue.
Okay, next will be the town administrator's report, and I'll yield the floor to our town administrator, David Smoke.
Thank you, Mayor. I know we were all, most of us there last night, but Intro to Farragut graduated our 8th class last night at the community center. It was a great evening. We had our largest class ever of 22 graduates, and that makes 110 total graduates for our class over the last 8 years. So we're excited about the new class, and I hope they certainly continue to be involved in the community. November 15th, next Monday, we are going to have a public hearing and meeting on the comprehensive land use plan updates to Boring Road. We're going to have those in the community room, so they'll be from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening. We encourage everyone to if they have just a few minutes, to come by. We're going to be having different tables set up where they can look at different concepts that we have and give us comments and suggestions based on those concepts. So looking forward to that on Monday evening. Yes, sir.
Quick question about that. Mark was going to have some type of discussion with us to help us at each table, how we can kind of interact with the people coming in. And I thought he mentioned something about coming early. Did he not say maybe coming half hour?
Yeah, he thought about that.
We're going to have 4 staff members at each of the 4 areas to be able to answer questions, but certainly aldermen, planning commissioners, whoever else is there would like to help walk people around the room or anything like that. We're just not sure how busy we're going to be. Some areas may be really busy at times, and then we may not have some at others.
Okay, so he's going to have staff people. Right?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Alderman
Okay.
Pinchuk, if you're interested in seeing the maps for the subsections, you are welcome to go to my blog at farragutfyi.com, and I have the substations and the maps that will be at those different stations.
Good.
They've separated it into 4 different stations because that sub-area is so big.
Okay.
So that'll help spread out some of the residents so that they're not all congregating around the same map.
That was an unpaid, unsolicited advertisement.
Yes, it was.
Say, I think we should invoice you or something, or Allison.
I've been taken over on my town administrator's report.
Sorry.
Let the man speak.
Get used to that, David.
Oh, I've been used to it. That's no problem. I don't mind at all. A couple other things, Mayor, that I've got. One is Shop Farragut for the holidays. We'll be starting November 19th through January 1st. This is a time where businesses can have some extra signage out, tell us about special events and sales going on. So we encourage anyone that's interested in the local community to contact Steve Krimpaski with the Farragut Business Alliance, and they're in charge of that. They can go to shopfarragut.com and talk to Steve, and he can get them a permit and get them a sign to be able to, or get them a permit to put a sign up out in front of their business. Also, the last thing I've got is Thanksgiving. Town Hall will be closed on Thursday and Friday, November 25th and 26th for the holidays. So hope everyone comes out to Light the Park, countdown to Light the Park, and Light the Park in general. We've got a whole calendar of events on the Town of Farragut Parks website. We have many different businesses can be involved. Just go to that website or contact us at Town Hall. We'll be glad to talk to you about how you can get involved in that.
Okay, thank you, David. Anything else from any other aldermen or the vice mayor? If not, then the time is approximately 7:07. And without objection, the November 11th, 2021 Farragut Board and Mayor and Alderman meeting is now adjourned.